Gold One Mine says they will be on standby with water and medical supplies should the mine workers spend more time underground. Over 400 mine workers have staged a sit-in at the mine's Modder East operations in Springs on Gauteng's East Rand. This is the second sit-in following a similar one in October where 500 workers only resurfaced after 3 days. We're now joined via Teams by Ziyaad, Hassam, head of the legal at Gold One Mine. Ziyaad, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Just give us the very latest now in terms of what is currently transpiring. How many miners are underground? And is this a hostage situation or is it a sit-in?
Hi, good afternoon. So the number of miners or the number of employees underground was 447. We've had a few come out since then. So that number's gone up to 3 who've managed to escape. In terms of characterization, I would say it's both a hostage situation as well as a sit-in. So, clearly there are a number of people who have planned to stage a sit-in, presumably in solidarity with those employees who were dismissed following their participation in the first sit-in or hostage situation. But there's obviously a large number of people who are being kept underground against their will. That includes miners, and it also includes middle managers and contractors. So there's a very large number of people who are clearly being held against their will, and so in that sense, it is a hostage situation from their perspective, and from the perspective of those sitting in, trying to coerce the mine into acceding to their demands. That is certainly a sit-in.
Do we understand at this moment what those demands are? I mean, some of these, reports that we are hearing are very dramatic in the sense that around 70 workers, including middle management and contractors, were held against their will. Men with balaclavas who are also co-employees are then holding these men, underground. Just talk to us about what at this point in terms of what the demands are.
So yeah, I think before we get to the demands, both unions, the difference between this situation and the previous one is that both unions have now very clearly distanced themselves from the incidents underground. The demands as they've been coming up through the course of the morning is that they want all the employees who've been dismissed to be reinstated. Now we've made very clear that those employees who've been dismissed were dismissed following a fairly thorough and legally defensible internal disciplinary process. If anybody is dissatisfied with the outcome of that process, there is an internal appeal process, and there's also a process whereby they can refer the matter to the CCMA. So, sitting in underground is not going to change the decision that has already been made by independent commissioners to dismiss these officials, and that position has been made clear to both the NUM as well as AMCU, and they are fully in support as far as that's concerned.
So just talk to us about, so some of the disagreements between, the mine workers and management in as far as labor issues are concerned. What is at the heart of these concerns?
Again, aside from the dismissal of these employees, we're not aware of what the other issues potentially are. I mean, on the previous incident, the issue was the organizational rights dispute with AMCU. That process finally came to a conclusion where the closed shop agreement with the NUM will now terminate on the 14th of December. Following that process, AMCU can then register employees to that union, and employees are free to choose whether they would like to be affiliated with either the NUM or AMCU. And that was the heart of the dispute that led to the first incident. So aside from the unhappiness with the outcome of the disciplinary process, we're not aware, and we've certainly not had any other demands being put on the table as far as those employees sitting underground are concerned.
Now, in our intro, we said that you are ready, with replenishments in terms of, just bringing those two miners. What are the operational plans at this stage? Because we don't know the state and the health of the miners that are underground at this stage. Do you know?
No, we don't. I mean, we're getting some reports about the health conditions. There was one employee who's in a poor medical state, and he was allowed to come out. We're hearing reports that one employee has been severely assaulted underground. So it is a very dire situation. And, people who've gone underground, unless they were actually planning it and took supplies, those who were not part of the plan would have went underground on Thursday night, taking with them sufficient food or drink to sustain them for the duration of their shift. It's now going on to around 48 hours. So we certainly are very, very concerned about the health and safety of all of those employees.